This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
My name is Gianna Norton, and you're back with me here on the Icon podcast with our special guest today, Ryan, and he is based out of Canada, which is really exciting. This is my first true international EXP agent that we're talking to since my time with the Icon podcast. So welcome in, and we're going to dive in all about you.
All right. Thanks, Gianna. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. So Ryan, take us back to the beginning. What market are you in? How did you get into real estate, and where does your story begin?
My goodness. Well, I am in Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, Canada. So for those that don't know, it's almost right in the center. If you're considering where it is in relation to the United States, it is right above North Dakota. So we're 45 minutes west of Winnipeg. It's a relatively small market. There's about 13,000 people in the community that I live in. And if we go back for my real estate journey, I actually come from a corrections background. I worked in corrections for 19 years, and I found myself being extremely unhappy. And one of my friends who was an agent said, "Why don't you go get your license and come and work with us?" And the next thing I knew, a week later, I was picking up all my course material and getting on that track. And that was almost 6 years ago now. And I did not start with EXP. It was jumping in with, can I say the names of the other companies?
Yeah.
Do they care? Okay.
I don't know if they care, but I've been letting people. So
I started with Remax, and I was there for about a year. And I left Remax, went over to Royal LePage, which, I was I knew there had to be something else out there, but I stayed there for a number of years. And the way I was actually introduced to EXP is a little bit different probably than most, because I had never heard of it. Because in Manitoba, we were actually the last province to launch EXP in Canada. Oh. And I got hauled into my broker's office one day, and he says, "Hey, have you been approached by this company called EXP?" He says, "We sat down this morning in a meeting with all the Royal LePage brokers, and we're pretty concerned about this company, and they're trying to, recruit agents." I said, "I don't know what that is." And he starts explaining to me, and I thought, "Oh my God, that sounds amazing." So I started reaching out to I could not find anyone in Manitoba because it didn't exist. So I reached out to my neighboring province, found somebody in a similar market, started talking to them about EXP. And the next thing I know, I was signing an NDA for EXP opening in the province, and I was there on day one when EXP launched in Manitoba.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and then when I went in and gave my notice, I said, "I know you're not going to believe this, but you're actually the person that introduced me to this company. I was not lying to you. I had not heard of it before." So, and I actually gave them the opportunity. I said, "Here's what I want. Like, the commission split here is not good traditionally." So I went and I said, "If you do this for me, I'll stay." And they would not. So it was a blessing, and I was so thankful now that they said no when I moved on to EXP.
Well, good for you for giving the old brokerage a chance to keep you, because being an Icon agent now, it seems like you were a key player for them. So, but welcome to EXP. That's great. What a cool journey. And, I guess when you were listening to your boss explain EXP, what really caught your ear first that made you say, like, I need to be a part of this?
He was talking about, there's the dirty word that we all hear, and that's the pyramid word, right?
Yes.
Which is not really a thing. Like, it's not at all that, because there's a very specific definition when somebody uses that term. there is an MLM aspect to it. And I thought that's very interesting. It allows me to build a team, and I could see past the negativity of it, that it allows me to build a team without being a broker, without having to go through, all that extra stuff. And in Manitoba, it's cumbersome. Like, you have to maintain trust accounts, do audits of everything, all that stuff that I don't want anything to do with. But at EXP, the model allowed me to build actually a team in Manitoba, and it's been amazing.
That's really cool. And without the huge liability and the risk and everything that comes with it. And it's really cool that you are what we would call an OG, one of the originals.
Yeah, there was a small group of us that went over, and I'm the first icon agent in Manitoba. There's now 3, but I was the first one. I did it in 9 months after I jumped into the company, and it's been awesome.
Ryan, that's really cool. Like, I just want you to take a minute and think about how cool that is. That's really cool. And, you seem like you're a humble guy, so I'm just going to gas you up a minute there because you deserve it.
Well,
that's
thanks.
really cool. So, you said EXP has a lot to offer. There was structure there. I mean, is that still the number one reason you're there? Or now that you're over at EXP, is there another, I guess, asset that they have that you've fallen in love with?
Well, there's a few things, and this kind of remained true from the start. Like, initially, it was also, my commission split's going to be so much better, because literally it got cut in half the day I moved.
Yeah.
So with a cap, that makes it even better. We're talking about almost $80,000 better just on moving companies. The fear, of course, is always that your clients are not going to come with you, but then people need to realize that most people that are hiring a realtor aren't hiring them because of the company worth. They're hiring them because of the relationship and the trust and the reputation they have. And my business grew threefold when I moved to EXP because there was a lot of negativity around the company I was with. Now, what is keeping me here? Well, I love the team aspect of it. I'm starting to get momentum and building and recruiting and building a large team. And it's truly a team. It's not like you're sitting at a brokerage where the person that is in the next cubicle is trying to steal your lunch every day. We actually support each other, and we're invested in each other's success. It is not the traditional company, which is hard to explain to people and get them to grasp, because the biggest objection I always hear is, I'm happy where I am. But what I'm trying to tell people is, you don't know what you don't know. And if I can get you to see that, the choice is very simple.
And the benefits and collaboration, stock options, revenue share. I mean, just hear somebody out. It's go to a cup of coffee, have a free lunch on your local EXP agent,
I've been working on somebody for a year, and I finally got them to just watch, which my year anniversary has only passed a month ago. So I finally got them to watch the model explain video, which is, they're like, oh, that doesn't mean I'm signing up. I'm like, no, it just means you're watching a video. So let's relax. I mean, even if you have no intention of ever coming, at least educate yourself on what the other option is here.
Right. And that's kind of what we do these podcasts for too. And so that person, doesn't have to go to lunch with you. They can, but they're curious, but they're.
Yeah. Well, I used to love my BlackBerry phone. I had a BlackBerry phone, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I loved it until I was holding an iPhone in my hand.
And then you're like, wow, the technology, the assets, the access, there's just so much to offer here. And maybe you can send them this podcast and get them to lean in a little more without, being so, have a barrier in front of them. And that's great. So Ryan, let's dig into your personal life a little bit. Being an icon agent, that's a lot of production. It's a lot of hard work. Iconing in your first 9 months, that's fabulous. What do you do to keep the balance between your work life and your personal life? How do you avoid the burnout? How do you avoid, obviously you can't avoid stress, but how do you keep your emotional health at peak for you, your family, your clients?
You have to be, it's actually, the funny thing about it is EXP has played a big role in that. because I have someone in town here that I have recruited to the company. They've come over, they've joined the team. So I need to spend a weekend with my family. I know that I'm covered. And I know that I can just send referral business to that person like crazy and they'll take it all, and vice versa. So we can go on vacations, we can cover each other. And I still, because they're on my team, recognize that I benefit from all of that. So if they get a client for life out of that, that's okay with me, because a lot of it comes back to me and we're invested in each other's success. Balancing though, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you really have to set a schedule for yourself. I structure my days in a way that most of my work and stuff is done when the kids are at school, my wife is at work. But I'm also a city councilor in town here. So I'm a municipal politician. I am a professional arm wrestler, which is probably something you've never heard someone say before.
Is that what that belt is?
That's what that belt is.
I was going to ask about that belt.
Actually a 3-time world champion.
Okay, that's cool.
So we travel all over the place. We do all kinds of things. And, if there comes a time when my team is large enough that I can just make sure everybody's happy, even if it means a little bit less for myself, because in the grand scheme of things, you're going to get way more out of it, then I'll be blessed to do that.
Absolutely. And that's cool that you have, that balance where you make sure that you're getting work done at work, family time is family, but you've also found time to, pour back into your community there, and then also arm wrestle. 3-time world champion, which is cool. Yeah. I've not interviewed any other arm wrestlers. I think that's cool.
I'm not surprised. In fact, one of my hashtags on social media is World's Strongest Realtor.
Oh.
And I think I'm undisputed.
I don't think you're wrong. I would also have that hashtag if I had a belt like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you're an icon agent, high production, good culture. Obviously, you're a mentor or coach, or you speak, or whatever it is that you've chosen to give back to the EXP community. Would you mind talking about, how much production you had to do to get the Icon Award, what benefits it's brought you, and what that award means to you?
So the basics are that you have an 80-20 split. Out of that 20%, you contribute back $16,000. You hit your cap. You do 20 more deals, and you hit Icon. Now there are a few other things to do. You get your $8,000 in stock back right away, but then you attend EXP Con, where I actually mentioned that I met Justin at EXP Con.
Okay, yeah.
I attended a mastermind where he was.
So that being said, that's great. You choose to give back to the community. That's important to EXP, that you pour into, your mentees, people you're teaching, and back into EXP as a network as a whole. Now, for somebody that is maybe in their first year looking to Icon, is that something that's attainable for them? Is that something they should put on the back burner? What would you advise people that are kind of thinking that the Icon is on their goals, but maybe not this year, but maybe this year?
Two ways that you can take off running. It's going to be a lot harder if you're a brand new agent to hit Icon in the first year, but it's not impossible. It's going to come down to how much do you want from the people that have been here before you and the more experienced agents. So a lot of people you can with it. That warm market is extremely important right off the bat.
And Ryan, you said when you had first heard about EXP, you leaned in, you wanted to learn more right away. So to agents that are out there watching this that are maybe skeptical about EXP, they hear that forbidden word, the pyramid scheme, thrown around. What would you have to say to somebody to maybe get them to just lean in and listen a little?
Have you got me now?
Almost. Hold on. It's like waving you down. Okay.
Gotcha.
I think I have you. I just saw you nod.
Okay, that's good. All right. The Blockbuster Video made when they had the opportunity to join forces with Netflix. Now, I'm not saying it would be that simple, but EXP is the fastest growing real estate company in the world. It would be worth your while to at least know who your competition is. If you have no intention of joining, at least you know. But once you have seen everything that EXP has to offer, I would be shocked if most people didn't think that this was at least a good option for them.
No, you're 100% right. And like you said, with the Netflix and Blockbuster thing, they had that opportunity long ago, and that quickly went away. Not only their opportunity, but their demographic, their target, their market share. So that being said, lean in, listen, hear them out, because there's opportunity here. There's plenty of opportunity for everyone. This is not a competition where somebody's trying to take your lunch. This is a competition where, oh, you want an icon before icon this year? Come and get me. Like, let's race to it. Like, let's encourage each other, because at the end of the day, we all win. And that's really cool.
That's right. And if somebody is hung up on the whole aspect of recruiting, you have to do that. You still a better company to work for just doing traditional real estate. And if that's all you want to do, then just do that and passively do the other thing. Along the way, just by osmosis, you'll probably get one or two people join you anyway.
Right. And it's not like a mandatory thing that you're constantly recruiting. That's, at the end of the day, you came over here to get people in homes. And that's what EXP wants you to do. And they want you to win at that. And like you said, just naturally, people will come to you. They'll want to hear more. And you'll recruit naturally if it comes to you. It'll come to you for sure. Ryan, I am out of questions. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
You know what? I'm just thrilled to be on a podcast that isn't arm wrestling related for once. So this has been fun for me. And I thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. If you ever want to come back on for a spin-off podcast, let's do it. We could talk about your arm wrestling.
Sure.
Or anything, tactics that you've done, or what it was like to be one of the first EXP agents in your market. We could dive in a little deeper about those aspects if you want. So if there's one thing I love to do, it's to talk, and just email me with your ideas, and we will be in contact soon, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.